Guys, big breaking news coming out. World War III update. Western and Ukraine are putting out a very important message. And they just released some of these numbers today. Russia lost 281,000 troops in 2025. Total casualty over 1 million. Wow. Okay, so the big question is, do you guys believe the statistic, these numbers that's being released? Leave comments down below. I want to read your comments. Now, here's the thing. Ukraine, they don't want to put out their numbers. All right. Now, this is not Russia putting out their numbers. This is the Western, the European, NATO, and Ukraine. They putting out this number. All right. Now, if this was true, the bear will be waving the white flag by now. Giving up. That's say we lost the war. We are packing our bags and going back home. We giving up all the territory that we have taken. Again, guys, like I said, leave comments down below. Do you believe that these numbers are accurate? Once again, Russia lost 281,550 troops in just 8 months of 2025, nearly a battalion a day. As intelligence says, total losses since 2022 have already surpassed 1 million. Alright, so we're going to see what's going on here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support is what keeps us on air. So, Crane State Project, I Want to Live, has released what it says are official Russian military loss statistics for the first 8 months of 2025. According to the obtained data, the Bear Country lost 281,550 personnel between January and August, including those taken out, wounded, and missing in action. Now, the report describes the scale of casualties as comparable to Soviet losses in major WW2 offensives. Now, the project, I Want to Live, was set up by Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence and is aimed at helping the Bear soldiers to safely surrender to the Ukrainian armed forces and save their lives. All right, let's stop here for a second. So we already know that it's the Ukraine State Project, I Want to Live. They're the one that's putting out these information. And I do believe along with Western and NATO and all those alliances. But Russia has not put out their numbers. Okay? Now, Zelensky said a few months ago that Ukraine only lost 45 or 48,000 soldiers. Russia lost over 1 million. That would make Zelensky a better warrior than King David. Sorry, David, you got to move out the way. You're not great. You're not great. Zelensky is way better than you. You guys already know King David right now. He's laughing and saying, yeah. But again, when it comes to these numbers, it's hard for me to believe it. It is. It's hard for me to believe it. It's hard for me to believe these statistics, especially if it's coming from Crane, especially when it comes from Europeans and stuff like that. Again, there's, I don't believe in their stuff 100%. It just absolutely, the numbers is insane. If that was the case, why is the Bear still winning? Why is the Bear still taking territories? They're still powerful, and they can be stopped. If they're taking out that much soldiers, why is the Bear still strong, standing? Out of the total of 86,744 Russian soldiers were taken out, including 1,583 officers and 8,633 convicts recruited from prisons. Another 33,966 were listed as missing, while 158,529 were wounded and 2,311 were captured by Ukrainian forces. Now, someone released the numbers of Ukraine, and it was like a few months ago. It seems like Ukraine lost over 3 or 4 million. That is why when it comes to their male population in Ukraine, it has gone down really, really bad. Actually, there's a lot of men that is exiting. They leaving to other countries because they don't want to be thrown in the front line. In the front line, that's the meat grinder. You guys know what I'm talking about there. So equipment losses were equally severe. All right, so we're gonna skip all these equipment stuff. All right, so again, you guys already know whenever there's a war, equipment stuff are literally getting hit left and right. Tanks and drones and planes and all that type of stuff. So every day, the Bear Army loses an average of 1 battalion and taken out and missing personnel 496, the report said, adding that 7 full brigades are effectively wiped out every month. The data reveal a critical failure in battlefield medical evacuation. For every soldier's out, only 1.3 are reported wounded, a ratio far worse than standard military averages. Project says this points to the lack of tactical medicine training and the tendency of the Bear unit to abandon the wounded on the battlefield. Modern Russian generals have pointlessly sacrificed 120,000, but have been unable to capture Provorsky for several years. Now, the highest casualty were recorded in a central grouping of forces, which includes the 2nd and 51st Combined Arms Armies. Once again, guys, leave comments down below. And this is a terrifying, reports, because we're talking about, if this is true, we're talking about over 1 million has been wiped out. 1 million. The Second Army, commanded by, I'm going to skip the name, lost 15,310 soldiers taken out and 16,260 wounded, including its heavily depleted 27th, 15th, and 30th Motorized Rifle Brigades. Now, the 51st Army under Sergei suffered 13,000 and 14,200 wounded, with massive equipment losses totaling 1,642 units destroyed. The 1st Tank Army of the Western grouping followed with 9,987 taken out and 11,411 wounded. The Elite Airborne Unit also took heavy hits, 2,272 taken out or missing, and 3,191 wounded. Okay, we are seeing all the numbers, but where's the number for Crane? How come you guys are not releasing your numbers? I read the comments box. A lot of people, it seems like 90% of the people in the comments box, they just don't believe this. They just don't believe it. And Kiev Post and also Kiev Independent, they're the one who put out these informations. Those are Ukraine sources. But if you read the comments box, it just, a lot of people just don't believe this. The project noted that the Bear Ministry of Defense has not publicly updated its casualty figures since March 25th, 2022, when it last drastically understated losses. Once again, the Kremlin continues to conceal the real cost of war from its citizens. I want to live, said. But sooner or later, the Bear people will have to confront the truth that over 1 million of their soldiers have been out, wounded or gone, missing since February of 2022. This is the price of Vladimir rule and his support by the bear people. Last month, over 128,000 of the bear soldiers had been confirmed gone in Ukraine since the full-scale invasion began, according to a joint investigation by the BBC of the Bear Service. If that's the case, then why is Zelensky coming here asking for our sons and daughters to put on the camouflage? You guys know he came last year. We need your sons and daughters. We need your sons and daughters to put on the camouflage. So it says here, as of early September, the team had identified 128,115 gone Russian soldiers by name. All right, so we're going to skip a lot of this stuff here. So the BBC noted that these figures represent only a portion of total losses, as reports often reach families with delays and require verification. The investigation also found that 14% of the unidentified passing were prisoners recruited from penal colonies, while 29% were fighters. Were volunteer fighters. Alright, so once again, that's the latest breaking news there. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe these numbers? Do you believe that these are accurate numbers that's coming out? So a lot of people's just not believing it. Once again, this is coming out from Kiev Post. Now, I do believe both sides has lost a lot. I do believe so. Alright, so yeah, this is all the information that's coming out. This is all the information, and this is a very important update of the where we are right now in these biblical war. So once again, the bear have lost over 1 million soldiers. Over 1 million. That's, again, that's a big number. Very disturbing statistic that's coming out from the Ukrainians. Alright, so I will keep you updated on all this here, guys. So again, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Again, thank you so much for your support, and yeah, like I said, I will keep you updated with all these nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time later. Peace.